Coming up next on Flowing into Awareness with Master Intuitive Anatara. Create space to ask the big questions. What are big questions? Is there a way to get answers? Do we even know how to balance with them? This and more coming up next as we celebrate our new studio on YHTV. This week's episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Souza Ma, your host for this program. Today's topic, create space to ask the big question. And what does that mean? And here we have the beautiful Anatara.
Hello, Christina.
Hello, Anatara.
I wonder how many big questions we all have. Is it one question? Is it more than one question? Are they all related? And how are we going to get ourselves into a space that we can hear what they are?
I want to know what is considered a big question, because I might have plenty.
Exactly. Good question. I've been observing our tendency and our need to do and how we do something and then we do something else, and the moments between the doing have doing in them, and
Are
the
you sure you're not following my life?
I'm sure I am following your life. So we are so busy doing because things need to be done. Lots of things require that we engage in them and with them and do something. And yet, often from within all of the busyness and the doing and the frenetic motion that is derived from being in the constant movement, I would say, rather than in a constant flow, we don't spare ourselves the moments in which we could find what the big questions might be and ask them. So this is really about how we divert ourselves from diving into our own truth and finding out what a big question might be by keeping ourselves busy, and by believing that through the busyness and the doing and the moving, that the answers to all of those big questions will simply occur to us, or they'll simply be there. So I'm not talking about flowing. I'm talking about moving and doing in a way that's not in a reciprocal arrangement with, what we believe to be higher self or what we believe to be the universe. So what is a big question? The big question might be, what's my purpose here? On in this lifetime on this earth. It could be, what do I need to know in order to fully fulfill myself, to feel wonderful inside, to feel that I have purpose, to feel that the things that matter to me are being given back to me by the experiences that I choose. So those are some of the big questions. And we'll all have our own versions of those questions, and we will be contemplating them in different ways, depending on some of the doing that's going on in our life. So if we are thinking that the busyness, the doing, is going to lead us to a place where there's a way to discern what one of those important questions in, I'd like to say that we're living in a state of sort of disillusionment, because unless there's a way to find that still, quiet space inside, we can't actually ask one of those more important questions. It's hard to pose to ourselves, to our higher self, This is what I'm wondering about. This is what I'd like to understand. This is what I'd like you to show me. And I want to just put in here as well that when we're asking what we feel to be a higher power to show us something, we are really asking for an engagement, cooperation between ourselves and whatever we believe that higher order of energy or being to be. So, in other words, in order to ask the big questions, we need to figure out how to create the space where we'll know what those questions really are. And it's so, as I said before, so easy to run away from allowing ourselves to stop for long enough, to be still enough, to be peaceful enough, to notice where those big questions actually are. So what I'm talking about here is actually stilling the mind, as I talk about stilling the body a little bit, stilling the idea that one has to always be doing, so that in that stillness, in that calming down of senses and mind and reaction, we notice that there's this beautiful little nugget of self inside there that has a big question to ask and knows which question is the most sort of dynamically pertinent to where we're at right here and right now. So how does this relate to what you were thinking might be your big questions, Christina?
Well, I was just thinking of dinner. No, I'm just kidding.
Could be
But
one of the questions.
you are absolutely right, Anatara, about the busyness in all our lives and the doing in between the doing, because, I think for a lot of mothers or some fathers out there who run the family or the flow that goes on around, it's not just about what is in front of us, but it's all those multi layers of what's coming, what we have to prepare for, what we have to think of, what we have to organize, and making sure that the whole mechanics of life around us actually flows.
Mm.
And I do believe I got to a point last year where I'd chosen not to even use the word busy, because it almost has negative connotations. To be busy, you're always busy. I'm always busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. But instead, what I think I've chosen to do is to accept it as a way of life. So it's no longer busy, quote unquote, but this is just the flow in my life. And it could be a flow in your life or someone else's life. And once that concept shifted up here, something else shifted, which was those moments that you speak of, those nuggets, the moment of breath became available for me. And I'm only speaking through my own experience, because every time someone encountered me, oh, you're always busy. Oh, you always don't have time. Oh, and I would say the same. And then suddenly I just said, no, I'm shifting this. This is my way of life. This has been my way of life for decades. So to someone else looking in, it's just a whirlwind. To myself, this has been my life. And when I accepted it, those blossoms started to happen. The space began. I noticed, maybe this is what it is. It's not like I don't meditate, but I noticed that within this universe of go, 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 I did take those moments to meditate. But because I encompassed it into that busy, 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 I never saw it any longer. And now when that shifted, the moments have become greater. Does that make sense?
Oh, you're describing it perfectly, how we can change the framework of how we view what we're doing or what we think we're doing. And your example is it's just beyond perfect. Really, you couldn't be describing better in any way what I'm wanting everyone to understand from this. The way that we look at everything, and we talk about this a lot, you and I, the way that we look at things has so much to say about what our mind is telling us about it, and or what the volume of dialogue and doing and busyness is telling us about it. And and there's nothing wrong with that dialogue. Let it happen. Let it direct you and show you where to look next for those nuggets, for those moments of peace where you can actually say, I am
Mm.
doing. I am what people call busy. I might even call myself busy, but I'm having the space and the time within that to notice what the most important things are to me and to ask myself and then about those big questions and then be able to act on them and live with them and through them. We don't have to deny that there are many expectations that we place on ourselves and that others have of us, and that we can in general meet them most of the time. We don't have to change that. All that requires changing is the way we think about ourselves within that. And that's exactly what you've just been talking about, Christina. And
Mm.
so where's the flow? The flow is in flowing with the doing, flowing with the understanding of the doing, and letting each moment of doing show you where the next moment of peace is. Each moment of peacefulness show you where the
Mm.
next moment of doing and peacefulness. It becomes this beautiful reciprocal delight that it doesn't overwhelm you and make you think that you're stuck in a treadmill that you can't get off of, but
Mm.
instead shows you how capable you are of being there, being who you are, becoming your next best iteration of being, and living in great peace and harmony. That's all that we're looking for. That's
Mm.
all that we need to refocus and gather ourselves around in a different way so that our lives feel differently.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes, yes. I mean, I'm right with you.
I could tell.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's interesting because it also takes that focus. It takes that awareness because there are moments that it feels like a treadmill no matter what.
Mm.
And that's life, right? That's life. We
Yeah,
we
it
go
is.
into our ebb and flows, and we wouldn't know one without the other to create that balance. So, yes, this is a wonderful moment, Anatara. Thank you so much, reminding
Mm.
us to create
My
that
pleasure.
space. And we would love to thank each and every one of you for joining us here on this platform, this new YHTV platform, and supporting us. We love bringing the moments of awareness to you, and I know it brings Anatara and I such joy. Um, if you would like to connect with Anatara, please do so through Twitter at Anatara, through her Facebook, Master Intuitive, and through her website, anatara.ca. Anatara.ca. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a question or comments within the website in the comment box, or you can give us a call at 818 Let's Talk. 818 Let's Talk. Be sure to, leave us your contact information so that we know how to reach you. And the other thing is, we would love to hear what you would like more of, what topics you would like to hear about. And, Yoga Hub and all the shows on Yoga Hub has been passion, has been done through passion. And we would love your support so we can continue our efforts to bring you more and more shows. Please like us on Facebook. Help us by making a comment and liking us on YouTube. That would be really helpful, and we'd be so grateful for that. So until next time, we hope to see you again. Namaste.